Looks so orange in my lamplight. Look like an Oompa Loompa. Oh well, it is what it is. Give everybody a minute to roll in. Y'all know, okay, yesterday I was silent because I had a friend visit. I had extra long physical therapy, extra long nurse time. I was just exhausted and it was too much for me to try to do anything by the end of the day. My body was just like, nope, honey, you're going to bed. Hey, Ashley. So, yesterday I didn't get anything done but my physical therapy and my nurse visits, and I haven't even brushed my hair today. And then I had a friend visit, and I was just done. Cindy, hey Cindy, I sent you an email to check in to see if you've received anything yet. Hey Pocahontas. So I slept so good last night. I slept so good last night because I had so much love in my home yesterday. I slept so good last night. I needed that. Of course, the PT lady almost killed me too. So I was very tired from physical therapy. Awesome. Okay. Well, and I don't think that's a prime box that I sent you. Like that's kind of like the old stuff at the end of the year. So the other boxes will be crisper, cleaner, wider, and have better options. And I'm going to give you a discount on the next box because of that. So that's where David and I are on that. But anyway, I'm so excited because I just caught Ryan's live that he did. And y'all know how worried I've been about this boy. Y'all know how, I mean, oh my God, I've been worried about this boy. Like, I'm emotionally invested in this young man. I've been doing like his little psych profiles of what he's gone through. And y'all, I told you the last 10 months or years, something's been off. Well, he just alluded to his video that the last little while his family has been like ostracizing him and he couldn't understand why. Well, that's the stress I've been seeing in his face, in his body, in his behavior, in his mannerisms, the confusion, the not understanding. I mean, he was not his normal self. And I was like, what has got him off kilter? Because this is not the boy that I've gotten to know through this music that is so confident and, it's always so just out there and so, just at himself. And I was like, what's going on? And then he said in his live just a minute ago, he wasn't even invited to his brother's baby shower, hasn't seen his brother's new baby. Dude, regardless of being the man that basically financially set up your whole freaking family, your blood, you should be invited to these things. This is like something that's like normal families do. So I can absolutely understand the confusion and how that has been playing with his mind. And maybe I'm like, okay, maybe that's what I've been seeing the last 10 months. Maybe that's what I've been picking up on. Maybe that's what the mannerisms and the kind of inner struggle and inner turmoil that I picked up on. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying howdy. It's been a minute. Hey, Hillbilly. And it's terribly sad what he's going through. But I have to say, I'm happy today because did you see the clarity in his eyes? Did you see that his head was held up? His chin was up. His eyes were direct and clear. There was no tilt down. And there was no, like, adapters in his behavior. Of course, he was putting a dip in his mouth. But there was no constant, like, fidgeting that we had been seeing for the last several months. His confidence is back. His clear-minded attack mode is back. And maybe this is an awakening for him. Yeah, he seems hella relieved, and that's kind of the second stage of, oh shit, I've been screwed over, and you kind of spiral for a little while, and then you realize what you're fixing to offload when you get yourself set back up. Now, I still think that he probably needs professional therapy and counseling just to help him process all this crap that he's going through, because it's nice to have a neutral person that is not biased in any way, kind of help you, kind of tag team your emotions. And he's going to bounce around for a while and have several, it's going to be like grief. He's going to bounce around from a few different emotions a few times. But I was so glad to see his clear eyes today, his message. He was very like, no, I'm telling you about this. I want you to know about this. So don't come at me for talking about him, because he obviously wants people to know about this. Like, he wants this to be an example for others. That's great, because families do crazy crap like this. It's just part of being a flawed human. Yeah, he is out of his amygdala. Thank you, Jenny. He is no longer in the fight or flight. He is out of his amygdala, back into his other lobes of his brain, and they're functioning, and he's making plans, and he's back to rational, critical thinking. And I'm like, heck, thank you, God, because I've been so worried about him. I've been so worried about him. And it was a, it's fans are fans, and I will agree that most of Creek Squad are great people. Like 99.9 of Creek Squad are great people. But there is a little tiny percent that are just assholes. And they cause some problems. And we do need to watch them and say, oh, dude, no, that's not representative of what Creek Squad stands for. You shouldn't behave that way. There should be no death threats to anyone. Okay, this is his issue that he has to take care of legally, and nobody else. So nobody else should be sending anything to his mother. And it's just like, be careful and, think rationally. He can take care of himself. He can get himself through this. It will be a legal issue, and he will take it legally. And there's nothing that you or I can do to aid this in any way except for send him good vibes and prayers and say, hey, we're praying for you. But attacking anyone else is just going to kind of ruin what Creek Squad stands for. And it's going to give ammunition to other people, and we don't want to do that. I think he needs a vacation. I think he needs a big old vacation. Yeah, they absolutely, I mean, I am amazed. I am amazed. Here's one thing I'm amazed. I'm amazed, number one, that much money was moving that he was unaware about, and that he did not have better financial control. So I think this is like a huge awakening time for him. I think he's like stepping up. Like I told you, your 30s are your hardest decade because you can no longer claim juvenile ignorance, but you're not yet a seasoned adult, so you got to establish yourself. This is his awakening where he's establishing himself, and he's taking back his power, and he's taking power over his finances, and he's setting it up, and he's saying, by God, it's mine. I control it. And I am all for that. That should have been going from day one, if you ask me, or with a very great financial planning team. It never should have been anyone on the accounts except for him and like anyone that, like, because his payroll checks, that is a working professional, not a family member. So I'm very impressed that he's doing all this, and he's getting back down to earth, and he's taking care of business. And I wanted to see what Lori said, if it was so bad, dang it. I love it when y'all come in here and you just show your onions. But he looked so good. He looked so clear-headed today. And that relieved me in so many ways, because I've had such like a concern of like, when you only get to see what is portrayed online, you don't have a good baseline to go on. Lori, honey, who are you? I don't know who Lori is, but Lori's obviously having a bad day. But you don't get a good baseline. So, I have been wondering for like 10 months, what has changed in his personality? What has changed in his personality? And then the other night when I watched that Johnny Gobble video, which I never watch his videos, and just for some reason I was up late, saw him go live, and I clicked on it, and I don't know why, but I'm so glad I did, because when that J-Rod then was like, yeah, and how was your Christmas? And Johnny was like, it was pretty good this year. I was like, you butthole. So Johnny Gobble was on there saying, oh yeah, Patty was doing all this with all this money, insinuating he was not, he was doe-eyed and not involved, back in my eyelashes. I'm not involved. I'm just giving you this information. Come to find out, he had been the recipient of funds. So in my view, Johnny Gobble had no right to get on and say anything, because if he even took a penny from Patty, he's just as guilty as anyone else. So I was like, dude, you cannot be on here and be saying these things when you were the recipient, you're the benefactor, you're the recipient of some of these stolen funds. It's like, shut up, Johnny. Like, shut up, So I don't know. When I saw his face, I thought, oh, there's those clear eyes. They're not red rimmed anymore. They're not cast down. The chin is not down. The chin is up. He's looking forward. He's engaged. He's not diagonal to the camera anymore. He's square on. He's back. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. So, because I've been so worried about him. I have been so worried about him. Yeah, I mean, and then he was like, how did these two people create me? Well, let me tell you, Ron, how these two people created you. Because at the moment of conception, biologically, there are like 475 trillion options of what can come from that. And the Lord picked you for a reason, because you bring something to this area and you bring something to society and you're making changes in the world. You were handcrafted by God. I mean, that's just all you can say. You were handcrafted by God to do what you're doing. And so I am just like, please stay in this mindset. Please, stay in this grounded place where you are so much healthier, and make sure that everything's going good. Yeah, I don't know what Lori. I don't know, Lori. I guess Lori hates me. Whoever you are, Lori, I'll pray for you. He's accepted. Yeah, he's accepted what's going on, and now he's getting busy and he's putting his energy into correction. And he'll kind of dip back and forth for a while and have moments where he's still going to be sad and upset, and that's normal. But to see what I just saw on the internet in his live, just his eyes, the way he held his head, the way he addressed everybody, I was like, he's back. He's back. Rachel. So yeah, it's like, I think it took about 48 hours of shock and awe before it really sank in. Hi, Denise. I'm excited for the transformation too, because y'all know I said I watch him cycle. He does these cycles. Well, maybe, because when you don't get to see someone in their normal habitat, you just get what is online. Maybe it was all of this crap affecting him that was making him cycle. Maybe it was all of this suckage from everyone else that was making him cycle, handling all these things from all these other people that was spinning him, and maybe they were part of the cycle. So I'm anxious to see if the cycle stops, because if the cycle stops, then it absolutely was the energy and the issues with the other family members. If the cycle doesn't stop, then he still has work to do. But he looks so clear-headed and clear-eyed and ready to roll and ready to get back at it. Right now, I'm confident that we got our boy back. We got our boy back. And I'm just happy for him. Just happy for him. So, I know, I was building a fire and got a ping on my phone, and I never catch him live either. It was just meant to be. But it calmed me right down today, because y'all know how worried I've been about the state of Creek Squad, about his mental health, and about the emotional cycling. I've just been so worried, but I'm confident that we saw a peep of our boy again today, and he's coming back. He's on the train, heading down the track, and he ain't going to be derailed, and I'm so proud of him. So I still hope Creek Squad goes positive and stays positive and sends the negative people out. And whoever Lori is, Lori, honey, I don't think you know who I am. But you shouldn't climb on people's lives and be a booger, But just for clarification, I'm not monetized. I think I talk about things that should not be financially incentivized. And I've never taken a penny from anybody. Run. Nobody. So I don't get paid to say anything. So, no. But I think Johnny Gobble needs to shut up, because he was the benefactor in stolen funds. I think he needs to shut up. So there's nothing he can say. You can't defend yourself or others when you are part of the problem. You just shut up. Go away. Yeah, I was glad to see the positive energy. Yeah, I was glad to see it. I'm so happy he's back. So, but I just wanted to pop on and say, had a really rough day yesterday with all my physical therapy and stuff, so I didn't do a live, but I had friends check in and visit, and I've got friends visiting again today, so I just wanted to pop on really quick and say, yay! So proud of him. I was worried, and y'all know I'm honest, and when I'm worried about him, I will say, Ron, I'm worried about you, but I'm so happy and so confident today, and I just wanted to share it with y'all. keep praying for him. He's going to have to deal with a whole lot more, but just keep praying for him, because this is like a huge awakening for him. This is the decade that awakenings normally happen, and he's fixing to step into some real power for himself and probably the family and the life he's going to create. I think he's set a positive momentum in place that's just going to bless him exponentially. So I'm just proud of him. I'm going to shut up now because I've got friends that are going to be out soon, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.